Super Mayhem.
Hello friends, it's Tim here from the future, just bringing you a quick message. This Saturday, the 8th of September 2018, we're going to have a birthday stream celebrating my birthday. So it's going to be right here on Super Mayhem's channel, and we'll also be on Twitch. So it's going to be at 12 PM Melbourne Standard Time, so if you're in the US, it's probably going to be on Friday night the 7th at around 8 PM, give or take. You'll have to check your local guides. But we got Cal from Slapped Ham coming, plus a few extra special guests. We're going to be playing either Super Mario Odyssey or Yoshi's Island on the SNES. We haven't decided yet. We'll see what we can get going. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I really hope to see you there on the weekend, guys. It'd be great to celebrate with you. Alright, enjoy. Hello friends, Tim here again from Super Mayhem, bringing you some more classic game Genie hacking action. Today we are taking on another of the classic NES games, Punch-Out!, also known as Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, as it was originally released in North America. For those of you that don't know, Punch-Out!, that is with 2 exclamation marks, is a boxing fighting game, developed by Nintendo and released in North America on October 18th, 1987. The aim of the game is simple. You are a boxer named Little Mac, and you have to beat up your 14 opponents one-on-one. All the while you can dodge out of the way when they try to beat you up. The end goal is to win a final dream fight against a pretty tough boxer, the real-life Mike Tyson, who at the time of the release of the game was World Heavyweight Champion. It's a simple premise, but the game is actually a lot of fun. Plus Mario makes a cameo as a referee, so you know it's good. The game itself was well received. It even featured in Nintendo Power's Top 200 Games list, where it appeared as the 17th best game made on the Nintendo system at the time. Games Radar ranked it a little bit higher, and placed it as the 11th best NES game ever made. The staff called it a brilliant puzzle game, disguised as a sports game. I have also heard people refer to it as a rhythm game too, which makes sense considering the gameplay. Punch-Out! Sold in excess of 2 million copies, which is pretty darn good too, and I don't think this even takes into account the number of downloads through the Nintendo eStore either. Anyway, considering the number of codes we have to cover, I think that's enough of an introduction. Let's get down to some game hacking antics. Don't forget to smash a thumbs up on this video if you're a fan of hacking or cheating in video games too. We will start off easy with a more subtle code. Are you sick of seeing Mike Tyson in the opening screen? The code PXPXPX will completely remove the opening Mike Tyson screen. It's not that useful of a cheat, but you can get into the game slightly quicker. If you don't count the time it takes to enter the code, that is. Moving on to some more useful cheats that will actually affect the gameplay a bit more. So there are quite a few well-known Game Genie codes that will help you throughout the game. Some of the best ones, for example, are AAVETLGE, which allows you to one-hit knock down your opponent. Knock them down 3 times and you've got yourself a TKO. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a glitchy code and doesn't always work, but when it does, you're in for a fun time. If that code doesn't work for you, then you can try EXSELL, which is another one-hit knockdown code. However, it doesn't work for every opponent either, but it definitely works fine on good old Glass Joe. If you want to take this really far, then you can use the code YZLOSS, which is meant to result in you instantly winning. Unfortunately, when I tried the code, it didn't have the same effect, and it was just a bit glitchy with Mario's fight sprite getting stuck in, and some general weirdness. A slight variation of this code is TZLOSS, which is also meant to result in an instant controversial TKO win. This one pretty much had the same effect for me, so I started wondering if this is a game version dependent or something cheat. So it turns out it is. These 2 codes worked fine in the European version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, so you can just fly through the roster of characters and become a champ in no time. Sure, it takes a bit of the fun out of the game, but if you want to see some of the tougher opponents whilst not being very good at the game, then this is the code for you. If it works on your game version anyway. There is also a complete opposite of this code, which is UZLOSS. This one results in an instant loss. I'm not sure how useful this one is though. By the way, if you are wondering, when you enter both the instant win code and the instant loss codes together, then you actually do win the bout. I just had to test that. If you do want to make the game tougher though, the code ZAPEEE starts Mac off with no energy, so that's something I guess. Oh, and then the game randomly froze on me. GG. There is also the code NAPANA, which starts boxes off with no energy, so it's kind of a first punch in wins, but I didn't record this last one. There are also a number of more subtle cheats that will help you throughout the game. A couple of good combos are AAVET LGA, where normal punches do more damage, and then add in STNAPUIV, so stun punches do more damage. If you want to get really crazy with it, you can add in the further code SZVAAOIV, which makes you take less damage from punches received. Using these three cheats combined sure does make the game a lot easier to take on. Some of us might be familiar with the inbuilt cheat, where you can mash select after a round ends to regain energy. Unfortunately, this can only be done once per game. However, with the handy Game Genie code KVKAAGLA, your stamina will automatically be refreshed after each round. Speaking of stamina, the cheat code SZVALPAX will give you infinite stamina, which is super handy and lets you get punched till your heart is content. So that's something for all you BDSM fans out there. The code known as Max Snaps is kind of the opposite of getting punched to bits. This time you'll be doing the punching and racking up some serious points in the process. Enter PGAAPG in your Game Genie and use the A button for punching. Hitting Glass Joe in the guts sure ends up messy. Plus you get some demonic green-eyed Mario watching you, so I don't know about that. If breaking the game is more your style, then boy do we have some codes for you. There are a couple of codes that mess with the colour palette of the game. GTTZZZ will give you a darker arcade style colour of the game. ATTZZZ is even slightly darker colour than the previous code. If you're a fan of the Game Boy though, you can try the code STTZZZZ for what's referred to as a classic colour, or the code PTTZZZZ for Game Boy colours. Feel free to try and mess around with these codes to see what colour combos you can find out. If you want to seriously break the game though, then the code SNAKEO will do that for you. But it's not that helpful unless you like fighting Glass Joe without legs. IPAKIN causes a major sound mess up. Sometimes there are no sounds and then other times sounds are just wrong. It's all a bit random and includes a long silence at the start of the round for some reason. The code EATEAT not only makes you hungry, but results in a totally whack game. The title screen is broken, opponents go from small to big to totally distorted. It is fun to see a mini Glass Joe though. If you want a messed up game that is still somewhat playable, then this is the code for you. Do you want to play the game like a real boxer? How about the cheat code OSTILL? This code will have you seeing triple the opponents. The game still plays like normal, but your fighting buddy will be flying all over the screen. The code known as Too Close for Comfort, which is TONILL, has a similar effect, where boxers will be, well, too close for comfort. There are a couple of Mario related Game Genie codes hiding as well. Some are not so useful, like Mario wearing a white hat and has a green speech bubble with the code SAYZEY, or the code LAYZEY, which makes Mario have a green shirt and his twin with a white shirt switch between referees for some reason. But other codes like TATALL will make Mario's counting while the boxes are down super fast, messes up the versus screen, and it also speeds up Mac's winning celebration, so it's kinda handy for the speedy gamer. By the way, if you enjoy the sexy way Mario says fight for some reason, there is this code called KGLOSS to keep Mario saying it. So that's another thing I guess. Speaking of fight, With the weird code YOZEAK, you can cruise through the entire game by winning by a split decision without actually fighting. For some reason it is in black and white after the first round, but if you want to watch the entire game, just sit back and hit the start button when required and off you go. Punch-Out actually has its own inbuilt password system, which can be useful too. Some of the codes you can enter are 135-792-4680, then press A and B and select to access another world circuit, where you can have an extra bout. If you enter the old Nintendo's customer service phone number as your password, which is 800-422-2602, you will hear a busy signal. Not the most useful cheat, but it is a bit novel at least. Some of the other codes let you change your status. These range from the code 005-737-5423, which gives you the status of WVBA Minor Championship, all the way to the Mike Tyson status by entering 007-373-5963. Anyway, that's enough game genieing for today, I think, friends. I hope you enjoyed hacking Punch-Out on the NES with me. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. It really helps the channel out and helps other people see the video. Subscribe if you are new. Share this video with your friends on social media and wherever else you can, and I'll catch you soon. A huge thanks to Jacob Clark for being our first Mayhem supporter. Without the likes of him, I wouldn't be running. If you want to join the team, please consider taking a look at our Patreon page in the description below, for your chance to get some exclusive behind the scenes looks at Super Mayhem, and even access to some sweet downloads. You don't need to go and traipse through New Donk City for a great deal. Head on over to supermayhem.com for all kinds of video game related goodies. We currently have a 30% off sale on everything over $40, and free shipping, including Super Mario Odyssey related items even. Not enough for you? Use the coupon code ODYSSEY at the checkout for a further 15% off your order. Link in the description below. Check it out now.